The message arrived on a Thursday afternoon, 3 days before Mother's Day. It was short, polite, and devastating. Don't come this year, your aunt and cousins will be here and it would be uncomfortable given what you do. I stared at my phone for a long time, rereading the words until they blurred. No emojis, no love you, no explanation beyond that thin, careful phrase, what you do. What I did for a living had always been a problem for my mother. She never said it directly, never used harsh words. She preferred silence, sighs, and disappointed looks. In her world, respectability mattered more than happiness and reputation mattered more than truth. I was an investigative journalist. Not a celebrity reporter, not a lifestyle blogger. I investigated corruption, abuse of power, and the kind of stories that made powerful people nervous. The kind that sometimes made the evening news. The kind that, in my mother's eyes, brought unnecessary attention to the family. You could have been a lawyer, she used to say. Or a doctor, or at least worked in a bank. Something clean, something quiet, something that didn't put our surname in headlines. Still, I never imagined she would exclude me from Mother's Day. Growing up, Mother's Day had been sacred. No matter how busy life became, no matter how tense things were between us, that day was untouchable. I would bring flowers, help cook, sit with her while she told the same childhood stories and pretend everything was normal. So when she told me not to come, not because of distance or illness, but because my job made her uncomfortable in front of relatives, something inside me shifted. I didn't reply. Not immediately. That evening, I walked through my apartment in silence. The city noise outside felt distant, like it belonged to another world. I kept hearing her voice in my head, not the one from the message, but the one from years ago. Why do you always choose the difficult path? Why can't you just live simply? You're bringing trouble to yourself. Trouble, that was what she thought my work was, not courage, not purpose, trouble. The next day my sister called. She didn't mean it like that, she said quickly, as if rehearsed. She's just worried about what people will say. You know how Aunt Farah is. She watches the news, she talks. Mom doesn't want drama on her day. Her day. And I'm the drama, I asked softly. Silence. That was answer enough. I remembered being 17, telling my parents I wanted to study journalism. My father had nodded thoughtfully. My mother had gone quiet for a full minute before saying, just don't embarrass the family. I had promised her I wouldn't. Now apparently I already had. On Saturday night I bought flowers anyway, white lilies, her favorite. I placed them on my kitchen table and stared at them, imagining her house filled with voices, laughter, the smell of cooking, imagining my empty chair. I thought about showing up anyway, about standing at the door, forcing her to look at me, forcing her to choose between her reputation and her child. But then I imagined her tight smile, the way she would whisper, not now, please, you're making this awkward. And I realized something painful and clear. Even if I went, I would be an inconvenience, a risk, a shadow. Not a son, not family. So I didn't go. On Mother's Day morning, I woke early. The city was quiet, washed in soft sunlight. I sent her a simple message. Happy Mother's Day, I hope you're well. No hearts, no I love you, just courtesy. She replied hours later, thank you. Nothing more. That should have been the end of it. A sad day, a misunderstanding, something to move past. But it was. Because in the days that followed, I started to see our entire relationship differently. Every time she had asked me to be less visible. Every time she had changed the subject when relatives praised my work. Every time she introduced me as working in media instead of saying what I actually did. She wasn't proud of me. She tolerated me as long as I stayed quiet, small, and out of sight. A week later, I was offered a position with an international investigative team. It meant moving abroad, long-term, dangerous stories, no guarantees of safety or comfort. I should have been excited. Instead, I felt strangely calm. I called my mother to tell her. Oh, she said after I explained, so you'll be even more involved in these things. These things, I repeated. You know, politics, scandals, enemies, it's not a good life for a family man. There it was again, the gentle disapproval wrapped in concern. I won't be around much, I said. She hesitated. Well, perhaps that's for the best, less stress for everyone. Less stress for everyone. Not will miss you, not be careful, not I'm proud of you. Just relief. That night, I made a decision I had been avoiding for years. I would stop trying to earn a pride she was unwilling to give. I accepted the job, I packed my apartment, I sold most of my furniture, I gave away books, clothes, memories. Each item felt like shedding a layer of a life that had always been half-lived, half-apologetic. I didn't announce my departure to the family group chat, I didn't make a scene, I didn't confront anyone. I left quietly. At the airport, I looked at my phone one last time. No missed calls from my mother, no messages asking where I was, what I was doing, why I had gone silent. It hurt, but it also freed me. Months passed, then a year. I worked in places where truth was dangerous and silence was deadly. I saw suffering, courage, betrayal, and hope in its rawest forms. I learned what it meant to stand for something even when it cost you comfort, safety, and approval. Sometimes, late at night, I wondered if my mother watched the news and recognized my byline. If she felt a flicker of pride, quickly buried under worry about what people would say. Once my sister messaged, "Mom asks why you never call anymore." I stared at the screen for a long time before replying. Because the last time I needed to be seen, I was told not to come. She didn't respond. Another Mother's Day came and went. I sent a card this time, no address, just a digital message, polite, distant, safe. I didn't hate my mother, I still loved her, but I finally understood that love doesn't mean shrinking yourself to fit someone else's fear. She chose comfort over courage, image over intimacy, silence over understanding. So I chose distance. Not out of anger. Out of self-respect. Being excluded from Mother's Day because of my profession was not just about one holiday. It was the moment I realized that, in her world, my truth was an inconvenience. And I refused to live my life as an inconvenience. So I disappeared quietly. Not to punish her, but to finally be whole.